It is Chair Shot Reality on Wrestling Inc. coming to you from downtown Pittsburgh at Point Park University Studios. He is Drew Springsteen. She is the queen of the silver screen, Katie Arquette. I am Justin LaBar. A few bits of house cleaning. First off, we have to give congratulations to Juice and his wonderful Halloween costume. We'll put up on the screen there, doing a little LaBar mimicking there.
Yeah,
I know
tribute to
the
you.
attention to detail of baldness.
Well, it's future you.
Right.
It's gonna happen.
Right.
And I had my David Allen tie.
Yes.
Better than that one.
Beautiful.
This is the greatest all David Allen collection. I mean,
Yeah, so is mine.
Yeah, authentic, obviously.
Very authentic.
The other bit of news I want to touch on, if you follow us on social media, then you're already aware. If not, then I'll let you know right now. It's been this is 427 episodes today. This is the 427th episode, 427 weekends in the past 9 years. And it's sad, but all good things must come to an end. Next month, December, the weekend of December 7th, in fact, will be the last Chair Shot Reality episode. This was a decision made by us. This was not because of anybody else's doing. This is not because of Wrestling Inc. or anybody. It was a decision made by us. It's been a good run, a long run, and it's just time to close the doors. And so we're going to do it. We're going to go out with a bang, have a great show next month, but just a couple episodes left. So again, we want to thank everybody for all the support. I'm sure we'll do a lot more reflecting and such over the next month. Again, you go on our social media, at CS Reality on Twitter, at Chair Shot Reality on Facebook. We have the announcement there. You can leave comments. We'll be posting some stuff from the past, a lot of old vintage.
What am I supposed to do now?
I don't know.
That's the only thing I do.
Yeah,
I do nothing else. I buy wrestling shirts and I come on this program and I wear the shirts. Now I have nothing. Now I have to sell all my shirts.
Got some hours you got to fill now.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It's going to be a weekend that's going to live in infamy.
Yes. A show that will live in infamy.
For the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons.
From start to finish.
WWE Crown Jewel. It did happen.
Where did it happen?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
We don't know really where it happened.
We don't know where it happened.
They only said.
We don't know who the host was.
They only said like the stadium. They were very careful. I was waiting for them
even
to
on the
say
graphic.
it.
They said the city, but they didn't put comma Saudi
I think
Arabia.
they mentioned the city as well, but they didn't say so.
No, they said the city, but even on the graphic, where normally they didn't put Saudi Arabia.
And then they had, Hulk Hogan be the host.
But you wouldn't know unless you watched.
Which is a last-minute decision, but that's bury the lead.
Well, probably the lead coming out of this show post is they main evented as we thought they would with the Brothers of Destruction versus DX, and not long into the match, Triple H gets injured. If you're not aware of when it was, you go back and watch it. When Shawn Michaels is hung upside down in the Tree of Woe, they then feed Triple H in the corner. He goes over the top to the outside, a spot he's done thousands of times in his career, and apparently had a bad landing, and he tore his. We now know he tore his pectoral muscle.
They must not have set the ring up correctly. It was a weird ring. I don't know. They weren't used to,
So this from
different ring crew.
This point on, the match is just
awful.
Sean's first match in 8 years. He's having.
So he has to start doing moonsaults off the top of the top rope to the floor and hurting himself.
Nice of Taker and Kane to catch him.
His shoe to catch his face. Really, that's how he got.
It was a nostalgic match. This is something everyone wanted to see. It wasn't exactly how they had expected, but it was nostalgic. It was something that's like, oh yay.
I'll say this for the fans live, they loved it. They kept chanting, "This is awesome."
Which is what the WWE will say. Oh, they had a great time, but that's all they'll mention.
I got to give them credit though for all four of them to tough it out with all the things going wrong and injuries. I mean that is impressive. But yes, it wasn't as bad as Warrior, Hogan, Halloween Havoc.
No,
it was pretty bad.
No, but it was. I mean,
they tried. They're getting older. They're
getting older. They're already there. They're old. They probably shouldn't have been doing this match.
Gender sugarcoated a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, it was nostalgic. Whether they're old now or getting old.
Are we going to talk about the rest of Crown Jewel, or are we just going to talk about Triple H? Because everything else, there was just massive questions in this.
Go ahead.
Why did Shane McMahon win the World Cup?
That's a great question.
He wasn't in the tournament.
I don't understand.
So a guy that's not in the tournament, not like he just entered the tournament, right? He waits to the last part and took things, in his own way. And he mentioned on SmackDown before, he's like, "Hey, if any of you guys lose, you're fired."
Right.
So what the hell? I'll just go in. I can't fire myself.
You know my favorite part
and
is...
he wins! Why could he lose?
You know my favorite part is he wins the trophy. He
runs around the ring.
He wins this tournament that has Raw...
Like he's Owen Hart.
He has this tournament where... it's Raw and SmackDown guys competing. But then days later on SmackDown, as he's trying to promote Survivor Series, while talking about... He says, it's the one night of the year where Raw and SmackDown compete. Didn't you just win a trophy where it was Raw and SmackDown competing?
No, it didn't happen. Didn't happen.
I don't know.
Nope.
Oh my gosh, I don't know about that. And then I mean, just the whole show, it was just odd. The whole show was odd. We'll get to Brock Lesnar later, which was another odd show. But like again, Shane McMahon, like, where do we know? Was Miz injury not real, right? Was it a work?
Yeah, it was a work.
So then why did they do that? Can anyone tell me why they did that?
They're trying to one up from the amazing Evolution pay-per-view all the women had. So they're like, Shawn Michaels got to do moonsault.
So we have to have another McMahon steal the spotlight.
Yes!
Stephanie created the Divas Women's Girl Revolution, whatever you want to call it. Women's Revolution. And Shane McMahon is the best in the world. And Vince is still, head of everything. Triple H got hurt. Everybody's, the McMahons ran the show.
Gotta give Shawn Michaels credit though for he looked good.
You're probably the only one that looked good at that age.
Kane's mask has fallen off. That's the mayor.
Oh no, big surprise.
That's the mayor.
What, who was that, another guy under there?
Back on.
You think the fans there were like surprised? Do you think they remember him when his mask was off, or do they not know?
Oh, I don't know.
They thought Yokozuna was still alive, and they wanted Ultimate Warrior for the last show.
The country didn't think Yokozuna was still alive.
Well,
the prince, I guess.
Well, doesn't he represent the country? In theory.
He doesn't represent what people remember wrestling.
I don't know how many times they're over there. You don't know. I just thought it was really interesting.
What was the best match of Crown Jewel?
The best match?
Yeah. Was
there one?
I'm asking. You had a 4-hour show to pick from.
I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I was really like, this is great. I mean, AJ and Samoa Joe was like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think anything of that this show was going to have anything of merit to go forward. The only things we're talking about are like something that wasn't like planned, like Shane McMahon coming out of nowhere to win, an injury, and then the finish with the Brock Lesnar match. Like all these things, and then the Shawn Michaels coming out of retirement, and then that match got something happen to it with Triple H.
I'll tell you what.
And now that Mania match with him and Batista that you didn't want, I'm sure you're happy about that. Batista gets someone else. You'd rather see him face Randy Orton instead.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't. Batista doesn't need to be at Mania.
Why?
Why?
No, I just don't.
He's fellow Washington D.C. guy, and you don't like him.
I don't. I don't need him.
You want him to bury Dana Bryan, though?
No, I don't need him on Mania.
Oh, that too. Yeah. Let's talk about Dana Bryan. You think he's like not going to get a WrestleMania title match now because he didn't go to Saudi Arabia, and it was
probably not a favorite of booking right now.
But he wasn't going to go there before the stuff that happened that made it really controversial. He wasn't going to go over there anyway.
Right. But who are you? If the Undertaker's ass can get up and on a plane and go over there, if everybody else can go, Daniel Bryan can go.
Sami Zayn can't go.
Oh my
God. He was doing it for his beliefs. He didn't want to go. And, hey, John Cena did the same thing. Sorry that John Cena is the greatest WWE superstar in the history of professional.
I'm just saying, if you don't think this could potentially harm booking,
it could. I don't think it should, and I don't think it will. I think that the cards are there. And who's the co-captains of the Survivor Series team? Dana Bryan and The Miz.
Oh, that's a real badge of honor.
It starts what's going to happen. Okay. It's going to lead to Royal Rumble. Miz is going to win the title. It's going to happen.
You're the big Kane fan overall. The match. You could tell they had to call. There was chaos. They had to call on the fly there.
I mean,
they're trying to communicate to Triple H and the whole time.
Like I said, I think everyone expected way more out of this match than what was resulted in. It was very nostalgic, like I said, but.
There were low expectations, though.
Well, everyone thinks like, oh, Shawn's coming out of retirement, and it's Undertaker and Shawn, and he took him out his last match. And you have Triple H, we're getting him back in, and Kane, like he's taking a break from being a mayor.
The stories were there, yeah.
Yeah, the stories were there, which is what makes it so great. But I'm sure everyone was like, oh, it should be good. It should be really good, and then it.
I don't know how many people thought it was going to be good.
Well. They hoped for a good match, like a good storytelling match. I think might have been a little.
I think the story was like okay.
The story was there.
Comparatively.
Actually, if you really think about it, it's not a.
And did the match go too long?
I think it was drawn out, not the fact that it was too long.
If Triple H wasn't hurt and he was able to do his fulls, I think the length is commendable. It's like, wow, all four of those guys really win. Mm-hmm. It seemed too long because you're watching H trying to chop it.
You're watching him suffer. You're like, can you please end this?
It's like you just want to shoot the dog. You're just like, just get him out of the pain.
What?
Right.
It's like you're watching the dog suffer. You just want to shoot him at that point.
You're shooting dogs now. So Dana Bryan doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia, and now you're shooting dogs.
No, we're not shooting dogs. It's like, take it back to WrestleMania 18, where you had The Rock and Hulk Hogan. There wasn't like this big, flashy match, but everyone was like, we wanted to see this for so long.
It was nostalgia, yeah.
Nostalgic. So that's why one.
It's a problem when you're talking about a match that happened in 2002, and that very same guy is hosting the show.
If Triple H's injury, obviously it was real. If they would have scripted that, Triple H is going to get a worked injury, he's going to get hurt, and it's going to force Shawn after. That actually would have been a good story in this match. What happened for real is actually somewhat of a good story. Oh my God, Shawn Michaels has been going for 8 years, and now it's basically a handicap match. Can he survive? And that's
Is that what they were doing on the headsets? Oh my God, we can work this in. Triple H, stay down.
But I'm saying that's actually if we look at it in full, it's actually a decent story. And I'll tell you what, it guarantees Shawn's gonna have another match. I was already sure of that anyway.
I don't think
he's not gonna allow that to be his last one.
I don't think they really went in there knowing what they were gonna do. I think they were just in there like, let's see how it plays out.
Well, they knew
I don't think they had a
They knew what their finish was
going
going to be, obviously, because Triple H made his damnedest to make sure he got to the finish, which was him and Kane being involved in the finish to obviously protect Shawn and Taker. Which again, whether or not I thought Survivor Series not going to happen, Survivor Series maybe Rumble.
If anything, it doesn't help, but it advances it. It makes sure that we're going to get probably a Shawn Michaels one-on-one match. There aren't going to be any more DX reunions now.
Shawn is not going to allow that to be his last match. And if you watch him and Triple H at the end, and Shawn's checking the blood, you can see Shawn look over Triple H and just say like this is.
And that's what I'm saying. I think it's better now that, well, it's not great that Triple H is hurt, but now there is no more nostalgia, DX, like no more. If it's going to happen, it's going to be on Shawn Michaels' terms, and it's a solid match.
And they just printed all the new DX shirts. All the new merch.
Well,
I still have the DX glow sticks from Raw 25. Keep them in my car.
I'm not surprised.
You never know when you're going to need them.
Did you lose your keys in your car? You can't
never know when you're going to stumble into a rave and you need some glow sticks. You got to keep them with you.
Oh my gosh.
That's what you can do after CSR's all done. You can start hosting juice parties.
Juice parties?
You've created your own following. You can start doing that and make some money. Charge people at the door. And let them dress like you and take a picture with you.
I'll take those glow sticks and I'll just repurpose them. I'll have more glow sticks.
All the glow
There'll be David
sticks.
Allen glow sticks.
David Allen glow sticks.
Proper sticks.
All right, we got Josh Eisenberg with some content here on the playlist. We're also going to come back and talk about Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. If you blinked, you missed the match. We got more to talk about here. It's the Binge Watch playlist on Wrestling Inc.